Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, checking in with part 2 of my mid-February tour of the Ralston Arboretum. I hope you'll enjoy and be inspired.
So we're in front of one of our flowering cherries here, this is a really long flowering one. It's from the National Arboretum. I don't know that it was ever actually formally introduced, but it's NA63480. But this will sometimes have flowers as early as Thanksgiving, and it will go the whole way off and on, depending on the weather, till early April. But it will get frozen when it gets much below 27, 28, and then it'll reflush another burst of flowers. But it's a lot more intense, I think, color than a lot of the true autumn flower cherries.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I propagated mine from this.
You could have.
Because mine looks just like this, but I've been calling it Subvertilla variety
I wouldn't be
Autumnalis
surprised
rosea.
if it has Subvertilla autumnalis in it.
It certainly, the flower shape is correct. Huh. Well, it's beautiful, and the birds like it, and everything looks good with the Carolina blue sky.
Yeah, and actually, turning around, you can actually see the magnolia.
You can see the magnolia. Look at that peeking out. And the not the lath house, but the necessary looks amazing.
It's not blinding anymore. Last year at this time it was blinding.
It's spectacular. I'm really happy that the Arboretum is getting a lot of support to be able to do infrastructure improvements.
This is a newer Prunus mume called Yu-Wa. And it's actually named after, let's see, I think the niece-in-law, for all intents and purposes, of a member here from the Arboretum, Tom Kronitsky, who also introduced 3 or 4 other Prunus mumes.
Which I have.
But this is his nephew grew this one and named it after his wife, so hence niece-in-law.
But I'm seeing black spot, or black knot.
Oh, yeah, I don't normally have that, so we don't get that very often here. But this one has I should cut that part off.
Yeah.
It has a bicolor look to it. The outer petals are typically a little paler.
Oh, that is very pretty.
And that was one of the things I think that he selected it for.
And now show everybody the black
knot.
The
and
black
that's
knot.
something I think Tom was selecting against.
Yes.
Was black's knot resistance. So
that's a really important thing for people in the DC area where you have so many prunus, and black knot is so prevalent, to be breeding against that.
Yeah. So anyways, I haven't seen black knot here in the garden until you just noticed that. So
I've got the eyes for black knot. Unfortunately.
We're gonna see it everywhere. But anyways, to better things, we have some more hellebores here. These are the Ice and Roses series.
These are really pretty.
And this is Glandorfensis. The real name is COSEH5000, but this is Picati, Ice and Roses Picati hellebore. And these are real complex hybrids. Again, these have hybrida in them, but they have Niger, and I think they probably have Argutifolia and Lividus somewhere in their line. But they have outward facing flowers. They're really vigorous. The ones we saw earlier, like Penny, what was Penny's?
Penny's Pink.
Penny's Pink. That one isn't as vigorous as these, but these have pure green leaves. These have been great for us. They bulked up so much more quickly than some of the other ones, but they don't seed around.
Just a huge thing, because some of the hellebores are so
if we turn
invasive.
around, there's a patch right there of hybridus.
Oh my god. Okay, see, this is why I cut all the flowers off and make floating arrangements, because you don't want this kind of seeding. And Tim was saying to me earlier, they don't just pull out, you have to dig them out. And I was telling him that we started burning ours with the flamethrower because I'm addicted to fire. Well, so I guess at this stage
you can get them this stage, but once they get a little bit bigger, if they get a leaf or two on them, a true leaf, they're difficult to get out.
So when I talk about hellebores being invasive, I'm not making it up. I mean, look at all that seed. Well, all those seedlings. That's not a good thing.
So the newer ones, these complex hybrids, you don't have that issue with. And so personally, I'm recommending them now.
Yeah.
They're much better for our environment here. I don't know how long they're going to last. I'm going to guesstimate they're going to last 5 to 10 years on those plants. Well, I hate to say it, these hybridias might last 15, 20 years.
More years.
Or more years. And then they're also procreating in that time period too. So you can end up with an issue with them taking over a place. So, Yelena.
I don't pick a favorite, but this spot for this glowing Helena is magic.
And I actually like behind it, it's naturalizing in there is the Schizocarium, so the little blue stems. And then we have some stem Japanese maples over here. It pick up the same tones.
It's beautiful.
And, my volunteers did it, I didn't. So
well, and it's
Yelena's
pruned
been here
so
for
nice.
decades, but the Japanese maples have only been here for about 5 or 6 years.
It's just spectacular. Everybody needs this.
And my volunteers do come through here and actually pick all the leaves off this one. They can't stand it, so
Okay.
I don't do it, but they do.
It's different when you're a volunteer.
I mean, they obsess over it. It doesn't bother me.
They just want this one to be perfect. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I used to spend a 40-hour week plucking hemamelis foliage off, and I questioned why I left college with $30,000 in student debt.
Can you smell her?
Yes.
Right now, we've just got the right direction of the breeze.
Oh, it's magnificent. Well, it's definitely starting to be Daphne season, and this is a favorite one every time I visit. I don't have any expectation of growing it. Nakafu. And I actually haven't smelled it yet. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good. Boy, there is nothing quite like Daphne.
Yeah, winter Daphne. It smells totally different than the summer flowering or the spring flowering ones that they can grow further north that we can't.
That we can't grow. So this is a long favorite of mine. And I have a couple that need to be planted, but I'm really excited to show you guys the flowers. This Rhodalia. It's such a cool plant. A great evergreen, but as Tim was just commiserating, you see all these flower buds, and we're gonna get really cold. And even though this is in the lath house, like,
We'll probably lose them.
yeah,
2 out of 5 years I'll lose them.
we're just a little too cold at the
Yeah.
wrong time of year.
But it's in the witch hazel family, and it looks nothing like a witch hazel.
It doesn't look like
It
witch
has
hazel
big
at
petals,
all.
and this isn't a really good one, but they'll be totally symmetrical around when they're fully out. But the color and the flowers they'll be over an inch across if they actually made it.
And it's such a cool broadleaf evergreen.
I love the buds too, which you
You
typically
too.
get, and they will fall off after they get frozen, but it takes a while. But even if they don't open, the buds are just these little shingled buds, and they look so gorgeous in their own right. But then when they open into the pink, when they it's spectacular.
I wish the forecast was 15 degrees warmer.
No, it only need to be about 5 to 10. It's
I
the
need
late-
15 for my own preference.
Okay. Mid for 3 years.
We've got another Daphne.
This, I can't tell the difference between this and
I
Nakafu.
can't either. They're both beautiful and variegated and smell good. And Nakafu is slightly easier to spell.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Grow it in a container, Brie.
Well, I bought a Daphne last year and I didn't plant it. It is still in the pot and it is totally alive and doing fine. So yes, as long as I don't plant it in the ground. Here is another one, Majima.
Yeah, is wonderful. That broad. It's similar to the one that has the trade name Rebecca.
Rebecca, yeah.
It's a little different.
It's beautiful. I'm mostly showing you all Daphnes for inspiration, but I have very low expectations for keeping Daphnes alive. So
You have too high water table.
my water table is too high, even in the dry. And this year has been dry. So here's Mary Christian Camellia in full spectacular flower. And then planted with that, is that Sunshine, Florida Sunshine?
Florida Sunshine, yeah.
Elysium. That looks great together. This is always a garden area that I love because isn't Golden Panther
Yeah, right
iris
there.
over there,
Yeah.
and you know that's how we got
Yeah.
Sophia's nickname was from that iris. You gave me a piece, but wow, Mary Christian, oof, spectacular. So you see, camellias aren't little green meatballs. You should plant them where they can get to full size and you don't micromanage their pruning. Well,
And it's really,
this
I like
is
this.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really
So
cool.
this is Mahonia Golden Cascade from Tom Kernitsky, a dear friend of mine. We're co-godparents.
And actually, the Prunus Mume Yuwa,
that's his nephew.
nephew's.
But look at
It's
those
just-
fabulous blooms. Great broadleaf evergreen. It's not native, but it does really well here, and the deer don't eat
Yeah.
Mahonia. And it's a great plant to be in full flower in the winter time.
Yeah.
For winter active pollinators. Oh, it smells so
Yeah, it
good.
does.
So this is Omoino Mama Prunus Mume, and Tim was just saying it's a chimeric variety. So it has some solid pink branches and some solid white.
And under ideal conditions, it would theoretically have white with pink bars in it.
Yes.
But
it's
that's
an
not
unstable gene mutation, which is what chimeras are in general, plants particularly, but you know, chimeras can exist in anything. But it's really nice. We're up here on the roof garden, and it gives you this like close-up view of the top of the tree, which, you know, you don't always get this vantage.
And the fragrance right here.
Oh, the fragrance is incredible. Mark, the director here, famously says he doesn't want to live anywhere where osmanthus don't grow, and I don't want to live anywhere where Prunus Mume don't grow. So there you have it. And as we come down the steps to the xeric garden, I like it over here because it's warm.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the shade over here.
Yeah. But it's also exciting to see so many different narcissus in bloom. I'm not doing a good job keeping up with all of those, but here's a really cute Julia Jane.
Yeah.
And oh boy, look at what Tim is waiting for us.
It's similar to Julia Jane. It's another hoop petticoat. And this is spur rot.
Nice, terrible
Rock.
name.
S-P-O-I-R-O-T. Spoy rot. It's from New Zealand, if I remember correctly. This is where the breeding was done. For this.
Okay.
But this one it wasn't out last week at all, and it popped out over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's continuing. It'll flower. It's prolific. So some of the other hoop petticoats they stay where they are put. Always just a few little ones, but this one has
vigor.
We're here underneath our Prunus Mume bridal and I have a patch of winter aconite in here. Arianthus hymalis, I think is how you say it. But anyways, they're not easy to get established. They're kind of like some of the anemones and things that you get a dry tuber in the fall and you plant it and you soak them before you plant them. I did that several years ago. I think it's been at least 10 years ago, and I planted like 50 under this tree. I had like 5 come up, if that. And only in the last 4 or 5 years have they really started to grow. I'm getting seedlings in here, but we're on that southern edge for growing them because they're like a zone 7A to maybe zone 4 grower. They like it cool. So anyways, now that we're in zone 8A, they're saying, oh, it's a little hot here. But anyways, I'm getting a patch growing here finally, despite that. And they are self-sowing. We have seedlings coming up all over the place underneath
Those
here.
are seedlings.
So these aren't going to flower, but these are little seedlings from probably 2 or 3 years old now. So, but they are multiplying and fairly good. They're past peak in this patch. So. They were out beautifully last week, and they're actually going to seed right here.
Well, everybody, I hope that you have enjoyed this winter tour. Thanks to Tim for being the best tour guide.
Oh, no problem.
It's always a treat. I'm always still disappointed when I come and you're not here because the tours aren't anywhere near as interesting.
I know a few stories.
Yeah, with 20 years here. Well, almost 20 years here.
Working there.
And we made it all the way around the garden and
We came right back to where we started from.
Exactly, because it's like the
In
warmest
reality,
patio.
we did truly come back from full circle.
Well, I can't wait to come back because
you're
we're
gonna
at
have
the
a break.
season where
You're going to go away for a week, and it's going to be
changes
it'll
dramatically.
change, yes. So March will be a totally different story here. So I'm hoping it gets more consistently warm.
And for those of you who want to keep up with the Arboretum, because I have a lot of travel in March, not to exotic places, it's all domestic, but you have a great YouTube channel.
Yeah, we do. I occasionally talk. Mark Wethington, our director, talks.
Greg
Page, Dennis Carey. Yeah, we all do some talking on that. And we have, I don't know how many videos. We've been doing a weekly video ever since COVID started. So that will be five years and two or 3 weeks that we started doing, or about a month. It'll be 5 years that we've been doing videos weekly. And aside from that, we also have programming from other events we've done here with the Rock Garden Society, as well as speakers here that go back even before COVID. But we've done a weekly thing. So we have literally hours and hours, or hundreds of hours of videos that if you want to watch them, if you were really bored on a rainy day or a cold day,
or you're just a plant
homesick.
person.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to be bored.
You have insomnia.
So I would recommend subscribing to the JC Raulston Arboretum's YouTube channel. And again, if you've not visited, you need to make it a priority. If you live in the Triangle area and you're unaware of this gem of a free garden on NC State's campus, you're not living a full life. That's the bottom line. Everybody should come out to visit and see this garden in person because it's just magnificent. It's a great representation of so many different types of plants that do well in this
Exactly,
in this
and that's
area.
why JC started it, was to see what would grow here and expand the palette. And that came to fruition before his passing, and we've continued on doing that for the last, let's see, it's been almost 30 years, or 29 years, I think, since he passed away. So, yeah.
It's a great place. I also recommend becoming a member because there's a billion different membership benefits. So check it out. As always, thanks so much for watching and happy gardening.